Well, I don't think I'm making it to work. Kind of sent the serpentine belt into the radiator, I believe. I definitely snapped the serpentine belt. Yeah, that's way too fucking hot. Welcome to my life. This is the way it goes. I just gotta get home. It's not far, but I just got gas too, and it's not far, but it's far enough. So this is gonna be fun. Once it cools down a little bit, I'll leapfrog it back home. Just take the day off, but this is my life. We've gone down significantly in temperature. I've got the hood popped. It's not like open, but it's popped. Not that you can see that, but we start it, hammer on it, get going a ways, shut it down, throw it in neutral, and just coast until we gotta restart it. But of course, we're having no serpentine belt. We have no alternator. So I've got to get home like soon before my battery will no longer start the truck. But I think we can make one more dash and maybe make it. We're down to 210 right now. Obviously, we don't have a water pump, so we don't have any heat. Rather unfortunate. We don't have heat. We don't have cooling abilities for the engine. So we don't have power steering. So, this will be the second time within the week, that I have to do what I gotta do to get home. First, it was the Honda, now it's this. Last month, it was the brakes in the Subaru, those blew out. At this point, we're just doing what we got to do to get home every night. That's what we're doing. I'm off tomorrow anyway. I was on the way to work tonight, but I'm off tomorrow, so yeah. I've got 2 days to figure this out. I don't have right now I have vehicles, and I don't have a way to go into town and get a belt, and I'm not walking 18 miles and that shit. So I will have to get creative, but I will get a belt. We are running up to temp here. It's about as high as I'd comfortably like to see it get, but again, I may not have, judging by that battery gauge, I may not have another start of this truck. So I don't want to walk in this. I don't want to leave the truck on the side of the road either. So, it's going to be close. I mean, we're not far. I would say 6 miles. Can we run it at this temp for 6 miles? Probably not an ideal situation. I don't know. That battery is draining and draining and draining. It's not like, oh, well, it's running, so the battery's going to charge back up. No, that battery's still going down because I have to run headlights, I have to run wipers, I have to keep the key turned, obviously, keep the engine on. Which does bring me to the point that people say, oh, a vehicle will not run without a serpentine belt. It'll absolutely start. It'll absolutely run. You can absolutely drive it without a serpentine belt. But you shouldn't drive it without a serpentine belt. You shouldn't do it. This is the third time within a month that I'm doing shit I shouldn't do, but it's what you gotta do in a pinch. It's what you gotta do to get home. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Call a tow truck, spend hundreds of dollars on a tow truck, walk, wait on the side of the road in fucking 45-degree weather? That's not something that I feel like doing. I just don't. It doesn't sound like a good time to me. So I'm gonna try to get home. Hopefully I can get home. And then tomorrow I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to get a belt. So it's an easy belt to find. I fucking just threw away. I know why this happened now I think about it. I know exactly why this happened. I got rid of that belt. I had a belt that went to a 350. Oh, I have a belt. But I had a belt that went to a 350. And I finally got rid of it because it's like, it's all dried up and everything. It's probably not a good idea to run it. But then I was like, it's probably keep it in case, you know. Keep it on hand just in case. Use it in a pinch because a 4.3 and 350 use the exact same, you know, accessories and shit. So, but I do have another 4.3, so I may just take that belt for the time being since that's not on the road. This is gonna be fun, making this turn without power steering and with one hand. Accelerate into it and it'll steer. See? I was going around a curve and then I laid into the throttle a little bit, just checking traction, you know, and I felt a pop and then I had nothing. I was like, oh man, it died. I thought I'd blown something up, but pop was the sound of my serpentine belt snapping. So I am pretty much home. I'm gonna call it that I made it. Even if it were to go into any higher than it is now, that's why I have the hood open, put a little more airflow in there. But if it goes any higher than it is now, I'm not even gonna worry about it. Come on, you can turn the corner. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go the rest of the way home regardless of what happens. The only thing that's gonna stop me from getting home now is if the engine just blows. I might as well not even shut it off. Final stretch. I get up this hill. Actually, I'm gonna get going toward the hill. And right before the peak, I'm gonna put in neutral and I'm gonna shut it down. Alright, we made it. We're home. Well, I guess I'm going to bed and I'm starting over tomorrow.